When looking back on the rapid rise in popularity of VTubers during 2020, one of the key contributors to that was the VOMS project. Founded by artist and music producer Gyari, VOMS project, originally named Vox Monsters Project, was a personal project made to get his toe into the VTuber market. He put out a surprise announcement on September 9th, 2019, stating that he came up with this idea and is looking to recruit somebody to help become the voice of his character. The audition process lasted 2 months, with the first stage involved filling out a recruitment form and submitting a video, while the interview process itself happened in the beginning of November. After the interviews, however, a change in direction for the project would be made. Because there were a lot of strong candidates for the role, what was originally going to be 1 talent for VOMS ended up turning into 3. These 3 would be known as Amano Pikami, Hikasa Tomoshika, and Jitomi Monoe. This trio would soon prove that despite being part of an indie project with a solid backing, they would be able to showcase their immense amount of talents while entertaining an audience. Now, most VOMS fans would be able to recall the influence that Pikami had on the overseas fan base.
So close! Oh, shut the fuck up! You shut the fuck up! I'm the fucking tired, not you, Mario!
Or how Tomoshika's one-of-a-kind personality created many memorable moments.
守るから Lawyer. No! Lawyer なんだ is
But as time goes on, especially with an industry that moves so fast, the impact that Monoe had for VOMS has become more forgotten about. Monoe was established to be the cool one between the 3 of them. The calm demeanor she naturally had, often being the one to be more level-headed compared to Pikami and Tomoshika, gave VOMS the perfect contrast of personalities. Her short-lived time as a streamer may be gone over the heads of either new VOMS fans or any VTuber fans that's only aware of them. Bringing her influence back into the light to those new and old is what this is meant for. Now, let's start from the beginning.
はじめまして、ジトミです。よろしくお願いします。
Monoe's first stream would be on March 19th, 2020. Her debut is what you would mainly expect from any other VTuber. An introduction, creating tags, answering some questions via marshmallows, and providing a little gameplay. With her specifically being the indie title, Despotism 3K. From here, fans can already see how different she conveys herself. While both Pikami and Tomoshika presented themselves to be very energetic, Monoe was shown to be a lot more laid back in comparison. You can notice it from the very first time you hear the 3 of them speak with each of their introductions.
Ohao! Amano Pikami desu!
はじめまして Hikasa Tomoshika です
はじめまして、ジトミモノエです。
Her streams in the beginning mainly consisted of Animal Crossing, free chats, and Minecraft, further showing that Monoe's streams provide more of a relaxing atmosphere. On April 10th, VOMS would have their first collab stream where they played Human Fall Flats. Although the 3 of them say that their early collab streams were a little awkward due to them not being too close at the time, they still managed to have a lot of fun. You can already see the early stages of their dynamic start to build.
やります。
One day later, Monoe would do her first karaoke stream, which would later become a regular on her channel. Within her first month, she became eligible to receive super chats. And from there, the continuation of Monoe's journey as a streamer carries on.
おい、下の子見えんかった。One more chance. 下の子なんだ。One more chance ください。焦んな。焦ってください。めっちゃ One more chance. あー、くそ Not one more chance.
As Monoe continued streaming, fans continued to learn more about her. Having more of that experience streaming got her to be more comfortable with expressing herself. Her personality can be seen as a misconception for first-time viewers. While yes, on the surface, she has that calm and straightforward demeanor, that doesn't mean she was one note. She can become very energetic and be just as lively as her VOMS counterparts. Get the right people, the right setting, and you can see it on full display. In addition, Monoe also had some interests that made her a little out of the ordinary. She's talked about her fixation for tentacles.
何の話だっけ？あ、そうだ、性癖の話だ。ジトミーあれだと思って、触手に対してありえんくらい執着あることを思い出した。ジトミは、触手性癖です。触手が性癖です。よろしくお願いします。性的搾取のための触手が好きというよりは、ただただ触手が好き。触手くんたちは、生きるために人間を襲ったりして、その結果、人間からすると、エッチくなるみたいなのが好き。たこ焼き好き。
And she gets very enthusiastic for Yuri.
かわいいよ。姉貴だと。ああ、かわいい。なんでそんな幸せそうな顔してるの？幸せそうな顔してる。
As VOMS were making content, finding themselves through what they create, Monoe used her hobbies and incorporated it into her channel. A passion of hers that separated herself from the other VOMS members was her love for TRPGs. It would be a reoccurring thing on her channel, often collabing with VTubers as well as other notable people in the TRPG scene. One of the main games she played was Katashiro, a Cthulhu mythos-based game. The scenario is an explorer has woken up in a hospital when a doctor has informed them that they've been struck by lightning. The explorer has no recollection of that or any other memories. Since the average runtime for Katashiro is around an hour 30, it leaves a lot of replay value, which led to many streams with a wide range of VTubers. On the flip side, something that she was not a fan of was horror games. Due to the fact that she gets scared easily, streams where she would play a horror game would be few and far between. Most likely, the stream wouldn't even go for an hour. Her getting easily scared left more entertainment for the fans than for her.
お疲れ。お疲れ。おいり。おいり。おざじぶり。おざじぶり。
Going back to things she enjoyed, another hobby she had was drawing. This was more of a casual thing she would do compared to everything else. She would do drawing streams on occasion, but where you would mainly see her art was on her Twitter. She posted a handful of her illustrations there. Most of them were VOMS related, with a few miscellaneous ones as well. With such a list of various skills she's shown, it raises the question of what can't she do? Well, in her words, she has one weakness: English.
なんて読むの？レッド、レッテンオブザ、オブラディーン。ボ I don't speak English.
Throughout the rest of 2020, her and VOMS really began to become notable names. They were starting to have more collabs with named clothing brands, giving their merch line more flair. Their subscriber numbers were also really climbing up. When Monoe did her Christmas stream, she received the gift of hitting 90,000 subscribers. Ending the year, she did something special. She released her first official cover, complete with its own music video, choosing the Vocaloid track Telecaster B-Boy by Sudi. This was a first for VOMS. With this being Gyari's project, it was only a matter of time before music was gonna play a part. Having Gyari involved with mixing just made sense, and what they created was a killer version of the song. With that rounding off the year, we head into 2021.
皆様、明けましておめでとうございます。剣を刃物。はい。
Going into 2021, Monoe had a ton of momentum on her side, and it was only going to get better in the following month. February saw the very peak of Monoe's channel, both in terms of numbers and creativity. At this time, she was very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers, so she wanted to do something big. Her plan was to do an endurance stream where she would play Getting Over It with two objectives in mind. The first was to reach her subscriber goal, which she did around 21 minutes in.
あ、チャンネル登録ページが10万人になった？マジ？マジ？マジ？なんでジトミだけ世界線が追いつかないの？あ、追いついた
Now the only thing left was to beat the game. The stream would not end until she finished getting over it. This is by far one of the most ambitious streams any VOMS member has done to this day, with the stream lasting just over 24 hours in total. Throughout her efforts, she had a handful of guests that joined in. Some notables include Pikami, Tomoshika, Tokiya Yumasaki, Usumo, Niwako, Madara Ushi, just to name a few. While the journey was a long and treacherous one, when she finally made it up to the top, it was pure euphoria. After the absolute high Monoe reached, she was unfortunately grounded back to reality when she had to stream Akamanto less than a week later as part of Pikami's gift during the endurance stream. The stream didn't last too long due to her disdain for horror games, but she gave it her best effort. After this was her Valentine's karaoke stream, and the start of a series that was one of her most innovative ideas, titled Pikami's Detective Files. This brought Monoe's love for TRPGs with a unique spin on it. The rules are that there's two groups, the detective and the suspects. The detective goes through clues and interrogates the suspects, finding out who is the true culprit. Once all the information has been gathered, the detective must make a deduction in which they must point out whoever the true culprit is within a 3-minute time limit. With a combination of a brand new visual style as well as their usual great chemistry together, it gave VOMS fans both something fresh while at the same time keeping it familiar. Following that was another collab. On February 19th, 2021, just 13 days after hitting 100,000 subscribers, Gyari put out an announcement on Twitter stating that due to a serious breach of contract, Monoe would be graduating from VOMS immediately. Meaning that not only is she out of the group, but anything that remains of her would be erased. From her channel, to tweets, to merch, to her section on the VOMS website, gone. At around the same time, both Pikami and Tomoshika made brief streams informing their fans about this announcement.
So, today's announcement was the artist group Jitomi Monoe has left the VOMS project, and if you haven't checked it yet, there's an English version too, so I hope you guys will check that out. We know that this will happen for a few days, and it's not like we just knew about this right now or something like that. And then it's not the health condition or anything like that, so I had a chance to talk with her before she left, and she said that thank you so much for the old support, and I'm doing great. So the VOMS project is going to be me, Pikami, and Tomoshika. It's going to be only 2 people, but hopefully we can continue our activities. Next month, we're going to have a 1-year anniversary since we started it, and I'm very sad that we couldn't have an anniversary together. I'm really sad that this happened, but also the time we spent together was really fun, and I really appreciate to her that she gave me a really fun time, and no matter what happened, we are good friends. If you have found her in a different place, in a different situation, hope you guys can continue the support for her.
It's part of VTuber culture once someone has graduated for whoever runs the group or company to make the choice of whether or not to erase everything. Most of the time, that happens, and it's basically guaranteed if it's due to a breach of contract. Immediate reaction from fans was from a range of sadness to confusion and the need for answers. The announcement really felt like it came from left field. From having a handful of streams announced to being terminated within the span of a few days. It was a rude awakening for VOMS. Looking at the announcements made on Twitter and YouTube during this time, here's everything that's known to the public. Everyone at VOMS knew about the breach of contract at least a few days before the official termination. The final stream they did together was around that same time frame, but the idea of them doing a stream together with that kind of elephant in the room while keeping their usual energy means that most likely it happened immediately after. The decision to have Monoe terminated was agreed and accepted by all members. Whatever clause she broke on her contract was made clear to all members beforehand, so most likely whatever Monoe did, she must have done it knowing the consequences. The termination did not ruin Monoe's relationship with VOMS themselves. Pikami and Tomoshika's statements mentioned that they would not distance themselves from Monoe. They would still remain friends. At least it's known that whatever happened, it didn't burn any bridges between VOMS themselves. Whatever the case may be, the only people who truly know what happened are Gyari and VOMS, so this will forever remain a closed book. There's no one to truly blame for this whole situation. This is a tragic circumstance that happened at a horrible time. Monoe and her presence in VOMS now lies an empty vessel. Shortly following the announcement, everything started to proceed as normal. VOMS had their first anniversary, with Pikami and Tomoshika getting new models. On May 29th, an announcement was made stating that VOMS was looking to expand, posting a recruitment for new members. These members would be shown around 5 months later, and were revealed to be Haneuzu Muneru and Daimonji Ryugan. After some time with them in the group, these four would become the new standard for VOMS. Any mention of Monoe has been kept to an absolute bare minimum. This especially reigns true after Pikami's graduation, with her at one point having an archive section on the website. It's such a shame to have the graduation happen the way it did. The fact that they couldn't even have their first anniversary together is just heartbreaking. Everything was going up for her. Right when they were about to enter a new era, this came up. Any plans that they had together had to be altered, and had to be done without being able to acknowledge someone who was there since the beginning. With them being a small group, it gave everybody the chance to stand out more, which she absolutely did. Now all there's left is a void of things we'll never see. Any future covers, possibly original songs, a follow-up on Pikami's detective files with the potential stories that they could have told, the collabs that will never happen. She never even got that new model. With everything she did to build up her channel in 11 months, it was taken all away just like that. Between the announcements made and the deletion of Monoe's channel, there was around a 2-hour gap. It was a chance for fans to gather whatever they could and keep it archived. Channels like Little Magnet and Jitomi Monoe Archive Team were made and managed to re-upload most of her streams. But where the real vault lies is in the VOMS Project English Fans Discord server. There's a Monoe channel now archived where not only you can find every stream, but every thumbnail, video description, voice pack, unlisted clips, the whole nine. It shows how much her fans truly cared for her content. She may be gone, but her presence can be kept. As long as these outlets remain, there will always be a way not only to remember Monoe, but understand how VOMS became one of the most influential groups in VTuber history.
別に君を求めてないけど、ここにいられると思い出す。君のどうやってかその、まあいいや。